Welcome! My name is Like It's 1985. This is my review of Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Wheeljack. And of course, Wheeljack is a significant remold as compared to the original Wheeljack, which I have right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare the two in vehicle mode very extensively. Starting with the front of the vehicle, you can see there with the Beast Hunters Wheeljack, we have these spikes coming out of the side of the hood and some on the middle section of the hood there. So obviously that's a major difference there. Now you will notice there's this black splotchy paint, and I believe that's Hasbro's attempt, and I do say attempt, at creating some kind of battle damage or weathering, but I think, in my opinion, it fails. So, and I've seen other reviews, I've seen pictures, and it appears to be an official design element in their Beast Hunters Wheeljack figure. So I could do without that. And you'll see it throughout the rest of the figure too, some of this splotchy black paint. Overall, if you take a look at the two vehicles side by side in terms of coloring, I think the Beast Hunters Wheeljack here is fantastic. It really incorporates a lot of the reddish orange and the green color, more so than in the original figure. The original figure here looks almost plain in comparison. It has a lot of white, not a lot of red and green as compared to the Beast Hunters vehicle mode here. So there's that. And if we take a look at the windows here, you've got the bluish color window for the original, and then you have the amber color here for the Beast Hunters. Now I do like the amber color here because it does remind me of the color of the color of the windshield on the Generation 1 Wheeljack figure. So that is pretty cool. I like that for that reason. Now looking at the side of the vehicle, you can see the major difference here is these three golden spikes coming out of the door. That's a major difference there. There is a slight sculpting difference, as you can see here, as compared to the same section of the vehicle here. So even some small parts of the vehicle are re-sculpted. You'll notice that the center of the wheels on the original figure are metal as opposed to plastic, and the plastic on in the center of the wheel is oddly shaped. I don't know the reason for that, but there is that. And you'll notice from the side profile here that on the original you have that hole there to plug in Wheeljack swords that come with the original Wheeljack. There is no such hole there. Now looking at the back end of the vehicle mode and comparing the two, you can see a definite significant re-sculpt there. Very nice. And in fact, if you compare them side by side, wheel to wheel, you will notice that the Beast Hunters Wheeljack is longer here. It has these orange bits here protruding out of the side, or from the back of the vehicle, and then you have these on the side here that really extends the length, the overall length of the vehicle mode for Beast Hunters Wheeljack. So that's really cool. And looking at the details here, again, the difference there, and more of this weathering here. You can see down here there's this almost like scale and spine effect here on this plate here. Really cool. I like that detail. Of course, that adds to the whole Beast Hunters theme for this figure. One thing you can do with these orange bits here, you can, if you wanted to, and you want to be, fanciful, you could pretend, Wheeljack has wings, something like that, Of course, that's not a official mode at all, but just something you can do if you want to. Looking at the undercarriage here and comparing the two, obviously different colors there. The Beast Hunters Wheeljack does retain these pegs here on the bottom of the feet, so that if you wanted to use the original Wheeljack swords, you can plug them in here and use them and store them just fine underneath the undercarriage there. You also have, from the, it retains the feature from the original figure. You have these tabs here, so you could plug in the swords from the original Wheeljack and have them like that if you wanted to. So there are those differences. So overall, very impressed at Hasbro's design here, and just taking this figure and making it definitely a beast-themed vehicle mode, which is really cool. So I won't be showing you the robot mode comparisons because there's not much difference there. The main difference is in the vehicle mode, and I'm really impressed by that. So speaking of robot mode, let's go ahead and take a look at the transformation. It's exactly the same as the original Wheeljack. So, well, actually, first off, before I forget here, you can plug in the weapon here, and it does plug into a hole, which, as you can see, the original Wheeljack does not have that peg hole. as compared to there. And you can take that and plug that in here for, I guess, Wheeljack's attack mode. What this is a folded up, they call it the, Hasbro calls it the Falcon Spear. So for robot mode, you extend that out. Got a pretty cool staff looking weapon. You got a disc here, the disc launches. You can see the mechanism in here, what that does. So there is that. And the disc itself does come apart. And I suppose we will see in the actual third season of Transformers Prime, when the Beast Hunters comes around, that we'll see maybe the use of this actual device here. I'd imagine it's some kind of collar guard, or almost like a handcuff or something like that, you know, something to capture Decepticons, you know. So there is that. So let me put that to the side here. And transformation. So, as I said before, same as the original Wheeljack. And I will say, as far as the transformation, the wings do tend to get in the way here, so that's just a little bit annoying, but it's not something that's terribly bad. It's just something different from the original Wheeljack to be aware of. As for the back, you can see there's a hinge. You're supposed to fold this out like so. And you can see the range of possibilities for posing the figure with the wings. Something like that. As you can see, the wings do get in the way a little bit if you're trying to pose the figure, or, as you saw earlier, trying to transform the figure. So there is that. So there is Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Wheeljack in robot mode. Looking very good. Do a little 360 here. Again, the wings can be adjusted according to your tastes. I think they're supposed to be something like this, roughly. And look how the actual back plate in robot mode is this scaled and spine section that I was pointing out earlier. Really cool. And again, that's more of the Beast look to the actual Wheeljack figure. So that's a really nice detail on Hasbro's part. I love how the spikes here that were part of the doors are now along the forearms. I mean, that was just fantastic to have them placed well both in the vehicle mode as well as in the robot mode. So Very good design element there. I like that. And you can see here the spikes that were on the side of the hood are now on the sides of the legs here, which is really, really cool. Posability is pretty much the same, except for the fact that I mentioned before the wings get in the way as the original Wheeljack figure, but you do have the articulation as such, you know, ball jointed head, really nice range of articulation there. You have shoulders on a ball joint, a little bit of up and down as well there, as you can see. Bend at the elbow. You have the in and out at the wrist, and a swivel 360, of course. So really nice articulation at the wrists. No waist articulation. Legs go forward, back, out to the side. They're on ball joints, of course. Then you have the swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee to that degree, and you have the ankle joint here. The ball joint actually comes from the side, as you can see there. So you have pulsability options there, and you can get him into a decent stance while still having the feet flat on the ground, which is cool. The weapon, well, you can technically put it in both of his hands. I tried in my original take of this review, and it didn't really work out too well. But you can. It's a really tight fit, but you can get them in there so you can have the actual falcon spear, as they call it, being you know, handled by both of his hands. You can see how that's possible. Nicely detailed here on the actual falcon spear. It's cool. Nice blade, or actually spine design here on the actual staff part of it. It's really cool, and it does function the same way as it would in the vehicle form. And since there's a peg back here, looks like you could peg it on the back, yeah, for storage, like so. So there is that. So this is my favorite of the first wave of the deluxe Beast Hunters figures. Absolutely fantastic job on Hasbro's part at just making this new Wheeljack an actual new Wheeljack and not just simply a repaint. So that is really, really cool. And before I forget, let me show you the new style of transformation instruction sheet before we go here. This is really big. It actually shows a lot of detail in the instructions as far as how to transform the figure. They highlight the parts that actually move for each step, which is really cool. And then over here is the they have like a running story between the different figures. So each figure comes with part of the story for this, much like they're doing with the new 2012 Marvel Legends figures. So you got the Tales of Beast Hunters, Chapter 4, and there's Wheeljack, sort of a line art illustration of Wheeljack, and information about his falcon spear. Sorry about the glare. And here's the actual story. I'll try to get that in shot without too much glare, so if you want to read it, you can certainly pause the video. And it's continued in Chapter 5 with Voyager Optimus Prime. And on the back it just has the instructions for vehicle to robot, and some instructions on what to do with the accessories, as you can see there. Sorry about that. Alright, so like I said, I actually picked this up from a seller on eBay, but I know I watched MGO, and he got his figures apparently from his local, I believe, Toys R Us. So these are hitting retail. Obviously it's going to take a while for them to be available to, you know, a wide group of people throughout the country in retail stores, but they are hitting retail, which is good, which is cool. And this is the one I wanted to get beforehand, before it hit retail in my area. This is the awesomest figure, I think, of the first wave of the Beast Hunter Deluxe figures. Alright, so enough rambling by me. This has been my review of Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Wheeljack. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.